is Dr. Gigi Sabat, and you're listening in to the Rooted in Joy podcast. Joining me today is our amazing co-host, Sherry, and our lovely guest, Pamela. Welcome.
Hi, Pam.
Thank you. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're so excited. So we're so excited because
Yes, we are.
whenever I see you, you just make me smile. You really do. You have such joy and you radiate it. I don't know.
Well, I feel the same way about both of you. And I have been able to share some great moments with both of you under different circumstances,
Oh.
and I really loved it. It's been really nice. Yeah.
So, what are you most passionate about?
Oh, goodness. I am so passionate. I mean, there are so many things that I do, but these days, especially, I am so passionate about the self-defense piece of what I do and what's happening in our world today and current events. It's really evoked great passion and thoughts, and I think that right now is what's happening in my particular world. Yes.
Well, I love how you do more than just physical training because there's so much behind it. You know, your mind and your spirit drives what you do and makes sense to empower everybody you come in contact with.
Yes, it's definitely more than the physical aspect of it. Whenever I do a self-defense seminar, I want it to be extremely interactive. I want everyone to feel safe to share, to ask questions. If they've had an experience that they need to work through, I don't want it to be triggering to them, but I want it to be cathartic. I want them to be able to work through it and perhaps feel a little bit better about not feeling guilt that they could have done something differently, or someone putting themselves in a situation that they were not aware of. There is always something to work through.
That's right. And you're also a huge advocate for human trafficking. Tell us a little bit more about it and what inspired you to advocate for human trafficking.
Definitely. I had in my studio at least 5 or 6 individuals that had been trafficked. And believe it or not, their ages ranged from 13, 14, 15 up to in their 50s. There are so many different reasons for the term trafficking. We think of it as perhaps, I'll use the word prostitution. Why haven't they left their trafficker? The children, I'll start there. Some of them started being trafficked at the age of 8 by their moms and their dads because their moms and their dads perhaps needed drugs or wanted drugs. And the children became willing participants because they wanted to please their parents. And now perhaps their parents are incarcerated or they've been taken from their parents, and the mechanism never changes. Some of these kids still miss their moms and their dads. And it is something that what is happening in our current events. I would like to say this, that the adults that are coming forward, a lot of them were teenagers. They were coerced, and that is basically the definition of trafficking. They were perhaps promised something that, of course, a young child or a teenager may want and think it's something that they can get through. This is something that I'm so passionate about. And I was also thinking that for those of us that have family, daughters, nieces, granddaughters, if there's an argument at home and that child says, I'm out of here, they just want to go take a drive or whatever, the bad guy is not always a stranger. And if they are invited in by someone, if they are coerced by someone, well, you can come and stay with me, just merely because of a simple fight. It is not an economic thing. Before you know it, something had happened. that is trafficking. We don't realize
Yeah.
that it could happen to any one of us.
It's so scary, but we need to keep talking about it, I do believe, because, like talk about your Thanksgiving table even. I mean, in our family settings, we need to talk and let people more aware.
I agree.
Awareness is key.
Yes, it is. And this is happening right here in our backyard.
And then, so that people, like a child or a teenager, they might think, oh, this person's really being nice to me and offering me this. And yet, if there's seeds set in them, they might recognize it earlier, and then they might have to fight back. And don't be afraid to fight back, right?
No, exactly. It is the empowerment and the confidence you gain through having the training, and also the awareness where if that person appears to be, and Dr. Gigi, you are
Yes.
familiar with all of that.
Yes, I'm a huge advocate for it as well.
Exactly. If someone appears to be not quite right, listen to your intuition, and they are not quite right.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
we can all become possible victims, but then you step back and you listen and you watch, and if you've got to fight,
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you're
then
aware,
fight.
but when you say possible victims, I could have easily been in a similar situation as far as when I was very young. It was in South Florida. My folks and I, we usually go to a store that sells like meat or things of that nature. And so you park the car. And so we parked the car, and they made it easy so that folks can just run in there, grab what they need, and hop in the car. And so I was in the car, and then an individual looks at me. I'm very, very young at the time. I'm a little girl. And he's looking at me. He's like, gotcha. Give me that look like I got you. And then I'm like, wait a minute, like what's happening here? And so he approached me in the vehicle, and I just remember locking the door. And at the time I'm very young, so you're a kid,
Yes.
and you're just seeing someone like attempting to open doors, and one door after the other. I'm like, okay, lock that one, lock that one, lock that one. So
Yes.
he couldn't get in, he couldn't possibly, looking back now, possibly grab me.
Yeah.
And then when he couldn't do that, he just was like, all right, and he just left.
And if I may say so, I think it starts at home.
Right.
I've had the good fortune of meeting your mom.
Yes, you did.
She is a strong woman. You can tell.
Yes.
And so it has to start at home.
Yes.
The conversations must be had,
Yes.
not to scare,
Yeah.
but to make aware.
Yes.
And too, like I have grandchildren, and I have 2 grandsons and a granddaughter. And honestly, the little boys, I'm worried about just as much as the granddaughter,
Yes.
So I think we just need to keep setting those seeds of not scaring them to pieces, but letting them know that there are seeds set in their brain that might trigger if they get that sensation. It's not just like, don't take candy from a stranger.
Right.
Exactly.
It's got to be way deeper than that, because I don't know how many people have used that as an example. They teach their kids that, but how many of those kids will take the candy even though they've been taught?
Yes.
So
Not
point.
understanding that there are so many ramifications of what that may lead to.
Right.
And again, not to scare the individuals or the kids, but the conversations just have to be had. And I don't care as far as the perpetrators. If it's the butcher at Publix, if it's the Pope, I mean, God forbid, if it's a relative, if it's a friend, if it is someone that sits in our White House, if it is, I don't care who it is, they need to be brought to justice. And we also need to teach our relatives, our children, whoever it is, that it's okay to speak up. Speak up, let us help you.
Yeah.
And if the first person that you speak to doesn't,
Exactly.
go to the next one.
Exactly.
Go to the next
That's
one
so important.
until
I
someone
think,
does.
because I hear the stories I hear of people who have become adults now and they're sick. They have so many chronic diseases. The stress is so bad. And often they're vague illnesses, but it's brought on by stress because these things were left unsaid or undone. They might have even told their parent or their grandparent, and they've been ignored. They were ignored along that time, and they were maybe even given more, maybe material things or more privileges to try to make up for it, but they weren't stopped and they weren't acknowledged that this should never have happened.
Exactly. I agree.
And the kids grow up into adults who have chronic illnesses that are hard to explain, like in the real medical field.
That's right. What do you think human trafficking can do to an individual's mind, like, mentally? What can it do to someone?
I mean, I've seen it. The women that I've counseled and trained actually are in a shelter, and it doesn't just end there. They've broken free of their trafficker. One was able to put her trafficker in jail. There were 3 there at the time. The other 2 are still working through it. And they could not, it's a beautiful property, actually, and they could not walk around the outside perimeter of this property because they were afraid that the trafficker would find them, perhaps. So it doesn't just end there. It takes counseling.
Oh, yeah.
It takes therapy. If I may, I'll share a little example. And while I was there, I asked the ladies, is there anything that you would like to do? Is there something that would be cathartic to you from a physical perspective, from a training perspective? And 2 were like, yep, let's do it. So we just did some basic strikes, some basic training. And I said, if it becomes triggering, we'll stop. But if it's cathartic, if it feels like really good, which it can, then we'll continue. And one of them shared with me, finally, she said, what would I do if I was choked? And I said, okay, standing up, lying down. And I didn't know who that perpetrator actually was, and it was her trafficker. And that was the technique that he used to keep her under his thumb. And I said, okay, you can hug and you can say, I'm so sorry. And then show me. Will showing me help you? And it did. It gave her the opportunity to kind of fight back in a way that she was not able to fight back while she was in her situation. So there are many ways to work through this, many ways. And, if we have to train and put a face or a name to that heavy bag or to that pad that we're working on, let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Really nice.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta do it.
Yeah. Yes. And you are also an advocate for Parkinson's disease. What inspired you to be an advocate for Parkinson's disease?
I am. I started doing that probably 7-8 years ago. A friend called and asked me if I would be willing to train an individual with Parkinson's. And I'm sure, let's do it. We know that boxing is great for an individual with Parkinson's. We know that movement is the best thing that we can do to allay symptoms for an individual with Parkinson's. And God love him, he walked in my door. He was 40 years old. And I say this respectfully, and I teased him and we laughed about it. He looked like one of those little air decorations that you put in front of a new business, perhaps, And I looked at him and I said, well, what are we going to do with this?
Oh.
And we just started slowly doing some floor work, some light weights, some boxing on the bag, just kept it simple, simple, simple. And as we progressed, his symptoms lessened within 6 months, and this was not because of me, this was because he was this great guy and he laughs about it. He told his wife, I got this. I can do this myself.
Uh-huh.
And you cannot. We need a team,
Mhm.
right? We need somebody to hold us accountable
Yeah.
and to work us a little bit more. And within 6 months, his meds had decreased to half.
Yeah.
And he is amazing. And from that moment on, I loved what I did. And now I work in the Rocksteady program at Lions Pride. And then I also train individuals at home that cannot get to the gym anymore.
That's right. And we box together, and you lead the class. You
Yes.
teach very well. Hopefully, we can get
Yeah.
Sherry to join us one day in
Yes,
regards to
you must
boxing.
come.
I know. I had a few moments with her one time. She's
Yes.
amazing. I didn't know how much fun it was,
It
how
really
much hard
is.
work
It's
it
a lot of
was.
fun.
It's a real physical
Yes,
workout, but
it's,
also
it's doable.
in the back of my mind, and I'm very blessed. I haven't experienced a lot that a lot of people have, but in the back of my mind, I felt power that I could call upon some of the moves if and when I needed them.
Yes,
But I also just would like to do it more often. Use it in my
everybody
life.
should know it. Everybody, Gigi's going to come in and do
Yes.
some training. And the training is,
Well, I'd like to have training here.
I would love it.
Good idea.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
I would love it. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll set up another
Yeah.
session. It's something that everybody should know. It's something that everybody can do. You don't have to be an athlete.
Mhm.
You don't have to be, if you have an illness, if you have an injury, we work around that because the bad guy doesn't care.
Exactly.
The bad guy, if he's coming for you, whether it's coming out of Publix, whether it's, wherever you might be, the art of, it's kind of a mixture that I do of MMA and Krav Maga. So I meet you where you are
Mhm.
in your abilities. If there's something that hurts, let's
Yeah.
work around it.
Yeah.
It's great joy for me, and I hope you had a little bit of fun with learning the
You know I
strikes.
did.
Yes, and then you feel a little empowered, like, okay, I would prefer not to engage, and you have that stance, but you know that you've got the moves to back it up a little bit if you need to.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you're just wonderful. I love you.
Yes, likewise. Now,
I love you both.
what about domestic violence? I know we spoke a little bit about strangulation and all of these things. You know my story. You know what happened as
Yes.
far as almost losing my life, death by strangulation, and domestic violence relationship. What message do you have for an individual who's coming out of that as well, domestic violence, and maybe they're ready to give up? What message do you have for that individual?
Okay, so this is where I really am passionate about this part of it. Everybody can ask the question, why haven't you left? Why were you there so long? Didn't you see the red flags? I would like to say that as a woman, we've probably all had boyfriends or dates perhaps in our past that were not perfect.
Mhm.
We might have known that, but until you are engulfed in that particular situation and things start happening, you cannot just leave. You've got to keep yourself safe until you have a plan. Maybe you've got someone that you've shared this with and you have a way out, but safely. And it is not your fault. Something happens that maybe it happens the first time and you think it won't happen again. And then what do? Can I go back to my family? Will my family receive me after knowing the situation? If it's not my family, where will I go? How will I leave that day and still be safe? So I am a big proponent. It is probably what I am most passionate about. I've had individuals come to see me after things like this have happened. An abuser, you and I have spoken about this. An abuser hasn't just done it once with you. If you look into their past and you speak to other individuals they've been connected with, it has happened with them.
It's true.
Yes.
Mhm.
So they're good at it. They're good at manipulating. They're great at gaslighting. And you start to question yourself. And it's only after you have that little bit of training that you might even see it coming where you didn't before, where your hands go a certain way, where instead of leaving the bedroom for the kitchen or the kitchen for another room, you go directly out that door and you use your voice and run, right? There's no honor in just staying there. It's okay. Run, scream, bang on doors, do what you need to do to keep yourself safe. But if you cannot leave at that time, it's okay. The main part of that is keeping yourself safe until you can.
That's right. I agree 100%. And so another thing, I was sexually assaulted again as an adult. Mind you, I was already sexually assaulted when I was 8. This is what I tell people all the time. Make sure to continue to take your precautions. Although it has happened, that doesn't mean that you stop. Some people will say, well, this happened now. This is it. My life is over. I'm not what's the point of protecting myself if it's going to happen? No. Continuously protect yourself. It's very important.
Absolutely.
Good point.
Absolutely. And, you know, hindsight is 20/20.
Yes.
And you have learned from some of the situations that you have been in to now you're aware. You'll hear words. You'll see the look on somebody's face. And if you have to, if somebody is standing there and someone is giving you the impression that it is not a good thing, guess what? We're not going out there.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going through that door. We're not going to walk out of our car. If we're having a date, if somebody's going on a date, I say this to the young girls all the time, that the bad guy is not always a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
It's someone that perhaps has endeared themselves to us because they know how. It's not their first time.
Right.
What is the expression I use? The bad guy is better at being bad than we are because they are bad guys or
right.
bad women.
Mm-hmm.
It can work both ways.
Yeah.
It can work both ways.
And even as a runner, I mean, I have pepper spray on my person, on my wrists when I run.
Uh-huh.
And if I see something that's off, I'm going to head in another direction or whatnot. And I still have 911 on speed dial, but I did see something one time, and I said, okay, I'm going to go to the other direction. You have to be aware of your surroundings.
Very good. Earbuds.
Yes.
Oh.
Earbuds are
my.
It's my kryptonite.
Oh.
We should be able to run with earbuds in. However, can you really hear? Can you
That's a great
really hear
point.
somebody coming? And so many times people have said to me, well, I just keep one in. Okay, well, maybe you can hear half of someone coming.
Mm-hmm.
And how loud is the music in that one earbud, right? It is really, we should be entitled to do exactly that.
We should be.
Or running early morning before the
Lights come up.
is up. Running on the trails. Palm Coast, Flagler County has so many trails.
And you're so isolated.
So isolated. That worries me. We need a wingman. You always need a wingman. Or I use the term, and you're familiar with this because of your family, filing a flight plan.
Yeah.
Right? Tell somebody where you're going and stick to it.
Yeah.
Stick to it.
Yeah.
And just take steps to keep yourself safe at all times.
Yeah, because it's so weird. The stories I've known of people who have been like running before the sunrise because you got to get it done, you got to go to work,
Yes.
They never would have thought that the rest of their day and the rest of their life would turn out the way
Yes.
it did for some of the people I know that went through horrendous.
Yes.
Like even it's oftentimes a person but oftentimes it's just some guy who's thinks it might be fun or who knows.
Yes.
They just want to show destruction.
Yes.
And they
They're
do it.
crimes of opportunity.
They're
If it's an
Devils,
easy,
they're the devils.
That's right. Look at the case
Yes.
of the teacher who was just abducted on her run. She took the same route every single day, and the individual abducted her.
exactly, and that's another point that you, to your point,
Yeah.
don't take the same route.
Mhm.
Mix it up. Definitely mix it up. And
That's
on
a
the
good
days,
point.
Right.
yes, that it's early, run on the road where there's street lights
Mhm.
and there's cars. I mean,
Yeah.
it could work either way, but don't isolate yourself. The one story that was, I think, like 2 years ago, it was the woman who was in her gym in her apartment complex in the evening,
Mhm.
and she was by herself. And a gentleman, a young man, came and knocked on the door,
Yeah.
and she opened it because she felt that he looked familiar,
I think I saw the video. Yeah.
right? He was familiar because he was actually stalking her.
Hmm.
So she had seen him and just assumed that perhaps he
They
lived
lived there.
there.
It's interesting because I did that the other day. I went into our locked gym and unlocked it, and it was dark, and I had the willies. I backed up and I left.
Something told you something.
Yeah.
It may not have
Now,
been
there's not a
anything.
lot of people in there usually, but for whatever reason, I just decided, no.
Yes,
Doesn't
Listen
feel
to the
good.
whispers. Yes.
exactly. And this particular person, you're strong. You're strong. The three of us happen to enjoy our fitness and enjoy living life as healthfully as we possibly can. And she made a statement that for me is such a big no-no. And her statement was, and God love her, she was fine at the end,
Oh, thank goodness.
but she said, I knew I was stronger than him. Well, I'm not going to assume I'm stronger than anybody.
Mhm.
I don't care. I'm certainly not going to assume that I'm stronger than a man.
Right.
Look, I like to keep up. I don't want to say
Right.
that,
Yeah,
that we're,
right.
any of us are weaker than, but
But it's
I am not going to assume or think, would
not a
you,
competition.
that you don't know if he has a weapon. You don't know if perhaps he's high. You
Yeah.
don't know any of those things.
Mhm.
You've got to assume that this is going to be a fight
Right.
and get ready for it.
Mm.
I'm not going to assume anything. If somebody says to me, and they have, so do you think you can take me?
Oh.
And I say, well, I don't know if I can or not, but something might be rearranged somewhere before I'm finished. I would never say, oh, yeah, I can, because I can't. I don't know.
You know the truth.
Yeah, I might get lucky. And maybe,
Yeah, I'm not going to go down easy.
no, exactly.
Right.
We're going to fight to the end. Yes, we're going to
Yeah.
fight to the end.
Yes. Well, you sure do inspire a lot of people.
Yes, you do.
You
Now,
really do.
with all this going on in the world and all that you're aware of, what gives you the most joy?
Oh, my heavens. Service to others.
Oh.
Service to others.
That's nice.
Yeah, in my self-defense business, it is great. To see some of the young kids, teenagers come up and then I've had them for years and then they leave to go to college and they call me back and I'm like, they have boyfriends. I'm like, what? You were just 13, like
You grew up.
yesterday, and now they've grown up. And adults that come that think that they cannot do something, and they can.
Yeah.
They can.
It is wonderful to be of service to someone and get that feedback. It does bring like the best joy of all,
Yes.
but it takes a lot. It does take a toll on a person when the person is always giving. So what do you do for yourself to keep yourself like really healthy, like
Right.
spirit,
Ah,
mind, and
Great.
body? Because we know
great
you're
question.
active and you're always doing physical work. But what else do you do so that you don't get, overwhelmed by always putting out, trying to help everybody?
That's a great question. I love the outdoors. I happen to
Good.
love the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I love to hit that sand and ground myself and ponder.
Uh-huh.
And I might laugh a
Yes.
little, I might cry a little, depending on what it
Okay.
is.
Oh,
But
That's your happy
that's
spot.
my happy
That's
spot.
where you get
Yes. How about you,
restored.
ladies?
that's nice.
How about you?
Gives me the most joy.
Yeah.
Well, serving others. So, my word of the year is serve. It's the same every year. Yeah. But as far as activities go, they give me joy. As far as outside, while I'm not doing these things, I love horseback riding. You know that,
Mhm.
Sherry. I also love basketball. I run now, marathons,
Mhm.
triathlon, things like that. Yeah. But yeah, my heart is with serving others. It's what I love to do. When you love what you do, it's no longer work.
Exactly. And how about you,
Well,
Sherry?
I'm in the same, we're like a trio. Yeah.
Yes.
We really are, because I just feel so rewarded when someone comes back and tells me that something that we worked together on, and maybe you set a seed and they went and they did it and it comes back. I love that. That's what we're here for. We're here to serve each other. Otherwise, we would be in a bubble, and we're not.
Yes.
But it can be exhausting if you're, it can be exhausting. So I think that I love the ocean and the water. Just
Beach,
watching
yes.
it, the energy is so everlasting. It just keeps coming, whether it be slow or fast.
Yes.
It's
That's true.
energizing, and it reminds me, there's something way bigger than me. And God, He's there to sustain me, because it just keeps coming.
Yes.
That's right. The beach is beautiful, and it's a nice, great time to release too. And the view, as you were
Mhm.
saying, is
It's
beautiful.
the best. It's the best.
Yeah, no matter if it's a calm or not calm.
Yes. I am so grateful that we have been brought together.
Yes, likewise.
And that doesn't always happen.
Divine intervention.
Absolutely divine intervention. And you have created this world here
Yes, yes.
that brings people joy and peace and is helpful. You have created this world for yourself where you are out there and putting yourself out there with the public to know that you are here to help them under these circumstances as well.
Yes.
So I am so grateful to both of you.
Yeah. Well, this was great.
Yes, this was great. Do you have any last words for the audience?
Yes, I think what I would say was, we've discussed some things that are kind of hard to listen to and hard to discuss, but if there's anything that you have in your mind that you need to do, that you're worried about, or a goal or a dream, do it. Don't waste time. Absolutely go for it.
Yeah.
And share. Feel free to share and comfortable to share with whatever is happening in your world. You're not alone.
Thank you, Pamela. Thank you for being a guest on the Rooted and
Thank
Joy
you.
podcast.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, God bless.
Once again, that was awesome.
That was
You're awesome.
Did I